Hi guys, and welcome back to Prayer and Penguins. Today we have another creative prayer idea to share with you. And this one was actually something that I did at a youth group recently that I helped to lead. And the other leader did this idea and ran this idea, and I just found it so relaxing and enjoyable that I thought it would make such a great prayer idea. So this prayer idea is name embroidery, and I think this would be a perfect prayer idea if there is someone in particular that you want to pray for. Perhaps you took part in Thy Kingdom Come and you want to keep praying for someone in particular to come to know God. But you could also use it to pray for yourself and any particular needs that you have, or to reflect on the idea of God calling us by name and really praying about that and listening for God's voice as you do it. But let's get straight into the prayer idea. So, what do we need? You'll need some card, you'll need a pencil, you'll need a pin, you'll need a wool needle, and you'll need some wool. Now, if you have actual embroidery things like embroidery thread, embroidery needles, and embroidery hoop, you could do this using those things as well. But this idea with card and pin and wool is quite a simple way if you don't have all of the fandangled stuff for proper embroidery. And honestly, I genuinely enjoyed this idea so much that I'm actually looking into and researching what I need to do to get into embroidery, because I just find this so relaxing and the perfect balance of not thinking about anything because I'm concentrating on doing something, but also just having my hands busy and being able to free up my mind, free from distractions. But anyway, I'm going to assume we're using the card and wool method, and you can just adapt this idea if you do want to do kind of more normal embroidery. So first off, you're going to write out in pencil on your piece of card the name of the person that you want to pray for. As I said, this could be someone that you want to come to know God. It could be someone you know who's going through a particularly difficult time and you want to keep praying for them. Or it could be your own name. So once you've written out your name, you're going to want to take your pen and stab holes along the lines of your pencil markings. Do make sure not to do your holes too close together, or the card in between will just split and it will turn into one big hole. Next, you need to thread the wool into your wool needle and start sewing. So this is the one that I did at that youth group that I mentioned. You can see I tried to do it a bit different on the J and do a bit of a chunky one. And this is what I mean about if you do the holes too close together, they do kind of just split. So there's a big split all across there. And it's holding together, but it's not ideal. So just be careful about how close together you put your pinholes. But it kind of worked, and it kind of made it quite a cool effect, but you couldn't go much closer together than that. And then for the rest of these, honestly, I don't really know what this stitch is. I think I kind of made it up, and it's a kind of variation on a back stitch, but a bit more crisscrossy. But it worked, and it came together quite nicely, I think, and looks pretty cool. So if you know proper stitches, you can just do a really nice stitch, or you can just make it up as you go along like I did. And as I said, I just found this whole process so relaxing, a really good balance between not needing to think too much about what it is that you're doing, but also providing a really good distraction from some of the things that might be going on in your life to help you kind of zone out of those things and really focus on prayer. And I think this is a great balance to have for a prayer time, because it means your hands are engaged in an activity, but your mind isn't wandering to all the other things going on in your life, whether that's to your to-do list, or that person who's been really irritating you, or the situations that are worrying you and stressing you out. You can really zone those out and just focus on what your hands are doing and prayer. It's also super relaxing, which is just always helpful for prayer times. So as you're doing your name embroidery, what could you be praying for? If you're praying for someone else, you could be praying that they come to know God. You could be praying for opportunities for you to share your faith with them. You could be praying for them to meet other Christians and to see God's love at work. If they're already a Christian, you could be praying for them to grow in their faith and draw closer to God. You could be praying for specific situations that they're going for, whether they need healing, provision, comfort, whatever that is. You could pray for God to give you wisdom for how you can help them. Or perhaps you could pray for your friendship or your relationship with that person. Or if you're praying for yourself, you could read and reflect on Isaiah 43 verses 1 to 2, which says, "But now this is what the Lord says. He who created you, Jacob, he who formed you, Israel. Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. And you could reflect on those verses and think about what it means to be called by name by God. You could spend time listening for God's voice. You could pray about the waters, rivers, and fire that you are walking through, the hard things you are facing in your life. You could pray for your relationship with God, that you will draw closer to Him. You could pray about the specific tasks and jobs that God has called you to do and how you can be obedient to Him in those calls. So, by the end of this time of prayer, or perhaps it could be several times of prayer over a longer period, you'll hopefully have a beautifully embroidered name, and also a sense of calm and peace, both from doing the embroidery and from your time spent with God. Do let me know down in the comments if you're planning to try out this idea and how you get on, or if you have any top tips for getting into embroidery, because I'm very excited. But we hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos from me and Arnold. We create videos all about prayer, exploring the Bible, and Christian life and motherhood, and we're hoping to do lots more of these creative prayer ideas videos. But for now, if you're looking for more ideas for how to pray for someone to come to know God, definitely check out this video right here. And we will see you very soon for a new video. Bye!